Hello, welcome back to Holopon Solo Sagas, and today we are playing our second episode using a freeform solo Cyberpunk Red. I've been hoping to do this for ages. We rolled our characters last episode. This episode I will reintroduce you to our main character, the main character's two companion friends. We will discuss where they live and we will roll our first part of our adventure using a beats process from the core rulebook for Cyberpunk Red. Let's get on with it. So, as I said, we're going to use the beats process, which is in the Cyberpunk Red core book. I've written a little table so we can randomly generate. So basically, just if you don't have the Cyberpunk Red core book, I would say buy the Cyberpunk Red core book. It's big, it's thick, it's very Cyberpunk 2020. It's awesomely laid out, awesome background. Very, 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 very pleased with that purchase. So, inside it outlines a way of doing a campaign for a DM for a group using beats. A flow of story. You start with a hook, why the story is begun. You then interact between either cliffhangers and developments, alternating. Cliffhanger, development, cliffhanger, development, development, cliffhanger, development, cliffhanger, until you've reached a good size of those loops. Then you finish off with a climax and then a resolution. We're going to use this method for our solo game, and we will randomly roll using this table, which you'll be able to get access to by giving me your email address and I'll send it to you. Your hook. Then we will alternate between either cliffhanger or development, depending on the hook, and then finish with a climax or resolution. How we'll do it is we will roll our hook and our first development or cliffhanger, and then we will, once we've hit our development or cliffhanger, we'll roll the next one, and we'll build our story around that, using various different tables and various different random oracles that I've sourced from various different bits to try and get our Cyberpunk game to work. But first, you need to know who our people are, who our anti-heroes are, who our key edge runners are, who are going to work their way through the streets of Night City. We have our main player, who is Owen King. Here's a picture that GPT did for me of Owen King after lots of iterations. Though it's not ideal, it kind of sums him up. Owen King is a solo. Owen King basically is beginning to suffer from the first bouts of cyberpsychosis. His empathy has now hit 1 because of his cyberware. He only had an empathy of 4 to start off with. He has got a lack of remorse or guilt, he has impulsivity, and he has poor behaviour control. Those are the things that we will try to roleplay him showing, as he has 13 humanity remaining. He is going to attempt to get speedware installed, which might destroy his humanity altogether, and he might go cyber-psycho. He lives with 2 of his friends. There is his girlfriend he lives with. So we outlined, if you want to see more about Owen, last episode we generated Owen using the character generation path. Owen's partner is Miriam Batbaya. All of these were rolled using, so these 2 were rolled using the I think it's called Edge Runners. So not Street Rats, the Edge Runner methodology. Miriam is a net runner. They have been together for a while. Miriam Miriam's key focus for Miriam's life is love, and Miriam is deeply in love with Owen. Owen is reaching cyberpsychosis, and so Owen is distancing himself. He's emotionally hard to get through to. But Miriam wants Owen to go to see a therapist and to get therapy to help him, because Miriam knows what Owen does for a job. They're all trying to survive. Miriam is a net runner. She is a hacker and deals in data, and met Owen on a run where Owen was her guard. He's not really a bodyguard. Basically, he was a solo who was looking after, you'd say, bodyguard. Miriam has an empathy of 2, and so has a borderline disorder. And he's fixated on Owen and getting Owen to survive. Miriam is Mongolian from descent, Eastern Asian. Miriam speaks mainly Mongolian and a little bit of English and street speak. But she's mainly Mongolian. There's a picture of Miriam. Miriam wears Asia Pop bright clothes, curly hair, and Miriam wants to get up in the world of net running, so she wants to frequent the short circuit bar. She has some enemies. What was her main enemies? From a tragic love affair. It was an ex-lover, accused them of cowardice. They have a gang behind them and she wants to kill them. And she has an ex-friend who was a business rival, another hacker. They basically just want to go at each other. All she got normally works for local gangs where she met Owen. She's traded work with executives for code. There might be a net ghost or a rogue AI who is after her and has been causing her issues. She and Owen share a cargo container in Japan, old Japantown, which is a part in the south east of Night City, old Japantown. So this comes from a downloadable supplement, Cargo Containers and Cube Hotels, which you can get. I think I got this, it's free from Drive-Thru. I'll put a link down in the thingamajiggy. From Drive-Thru RPG. I've got stacks of stuff that I've been reading through. So they live in old Japantown. The rent for the cargo container is about €1,000 for a month. The place where they live is called the Precipice. It's on the edge of the hot zone in old Japantown. It's near the Crisis Medical Centre, which is quite good because they should probably get checked for radiation. If they want to go scavenging, then it's a hop, skip, which Miriam sometimes likes to do, though they've lost their radiation gear. They're going to have to buy new stuff if they want to do that. She likes going into the hot zone because there's a lot of good gear that she can take to the short circuit and possibly flog upstairs if she can get in to Three Pieces Night Market. But she needs to get seen around short circuit a bit and do a bit of work, which she hasn't been doing because she's new to the streets. They share the cargo container in old Japantown. Owen and Miriam, a couple, they share it. They both live a generic pre-pack existence. A generic pre-pack existence gives you, hold on, that is in Chromebook. Generic pre-pack existence gives you approximately, so you can imagine, so that costs about €300 bucks per month. And that will mean you'd only need to pay the 300. So how it works out lifestyle, at the beginning of every month, you pay your 300, you pay your rent, and that means that you get 1 meal of kibble and 2 meals of generic pre-pack per day. Don't have to pay for it, don't have to worry about it. You just go, it's considered, you can grab it out of any vending, what they call vendit, any vending machine, and you can just pop that out and that's good to go. You have your agent, which is your mobile phone, your partner. I discussed it in the generating episode. You can pay for the basic account and data pool to make calls and send calls within Night City for your agent, and you can probably send one text a week out to another city if need be. Once a week you can do any sort of entertainment that's around €20 bucks. You couldn't really go much above that. Once per week. You can take public transport, is considered you can go by public transport. And once a week you could probably afford a taxi cab. Generic pre-pack is not very awesome, but it's a general life, student life, you can consider it like a student life. They live that life. They share, or they've got someone who's sleeping on their couch at the moment, who is Temu Sakuba, I believe that, I can't say it properly, Sukhbaatar, I think it's spelled. He's also Mongolian. Apparently that was Genghis Khan's real surname. His first name is Temujin. Temujin, also named Timu, is a fixer. Timu, there he is, up there. He also wears, so all of this was randomly rolled, he also wears Asia Pop. He's sharing their container, and he's been getting them some work every now and then on the quiet. He's your standard fixer, but he also has a background in medicine and so in a bit in paramedic. And so Timu is able to help out when something gets bust up. His empathy is much better, so he is just trying to keep things ticking over. His cyberware, basically he has one set of rippers on his right arm. He's got a subdermal pocket for smuggling, and he's also got internal audio wear with an internal agent and stress analyzer. His internal agent is linked to external agent, so he can use the screen on the external agent, but he can basically make calls in his head. He, in contrast, is attempting to move up into the next stage up, which is good pre-pack, which is €600 a month. He basically wants to get off out of the streets and get his own studio apartment. He wants to go live at Johnny Silverhand Studios and the studio apartments there. That's what he's planning to do in the end. Our fixer has contacts, as a gang boss contacts. He can reach and find expensive gear. He can haggle bulk deals on things. And because he is Mongolian, he actually is very well averse to the North America cultures, and so he can assimilate in and get jobs into most places, and people will accept him quite easily. It's a fixer ability. So he has English at 4 as well as Mongolian at 4 and street slang at 4. So he can speak, he can easily meld, whereas Miriam, he speaks with a bit of an accent, and Miriam has some difficulty over some words and some sentences, and says things like, "Do you say that in English?" Which is what Mandy sometimes does. And that is it. They're all basically got the minimum sort of armor you get. What can I tell you about Timu? Timu values family. There's no one person that he particularly values more than anyone else. His life goal is just to get off the streets and live in a studio apartment. He's basically doing deal to deal. He rolled one friend, which is like an older brother. I decided that was Owen. No enemies, no tragic love affairs. He tries to source jobs for techs or brokers. I rolled that. He has a secret corporation connection. No efforts, mobile phone, local neighbours fixes side hustles. Apparently there is a corporate executive who wants him to do exclusive work for him, and he's trying to avoid that. That is our 3 edge runners, all living together in Japantown and attempting to get by. It is the 26th of September 2045. It is a Monday. Rent was paid just recently, and so our 3 need to try to get some work to raise the $2,000 that they will need, approximately $2,000, that they will need between them to pay for their lifestyle. Well, what is it? If he's got 600, 300, 600, well, 2,200 that they will need to pay for their lifestyle over the next month, and anything extra because Owen is of course saving for wants high quality speedwear. So what I thought we would do is every day we are going to use the Night City weather supplement and roll some weather, and then we will decide what we're going to do first and roll our hook and our first cliffhanger or development. But first off, let's find out what the weather's like in Night City at the moment. So we'll roll a D6, it's September. A 2, it's quite warm for Night City. It's about 15 degrees. 4, so it's 15 degrees and overcast. Nothing weird going on rain-wise. There's also some strange weather that can kick off on a 1 in 6 chance. So I would like this to go through 3 iterations of loops of our cliffhanger development loop, starting with our hook and ending with our climax. And we can work out what we're going to do between that. So first off, I'm going to roll to find out what our hook is. Then we can roll what our fixer can try and go and get for us. And we can try and work that job into the hook. 35. So if you look through the list, if you get this and you look through, 35 is a false accusation. Now, a false accusation means we get blamed for something. So why don't we roll a job, and then that can be what we've been blamed for, and then we'll roll another job, and that's the job that we're going to go and get, and then we're going to work into this the hook that we've been blamed for something. And so what we're going to attempt to do in this story is get ourselves off the hook for whatever we've been blamed for. So I'm now going to use the augmented reality holistic city kit for Cyberpunk role-playing games, which I think I got off of drive-through. I will try and get the link for that to put down. We've got 2 tables here, which is Mr. Johnson Job Generation 1 and Generation 2. One is people, one is things. 50% it's people, 50% it's things. This is what we've been accused of. So we've got people, something to do with people. So we've got 4 D100 tables. We've been accused that 17, so a solo or mercenary, has accused us of, so this is what they want, 66. So this says a must, so that might not work, but we'll find out. The action is 30. So they've got modify. We're accused of modifying. So what? Modify and then a person. 44. Celebrity. Okay, that's all right. So I'm going to find a minor celebrity. We have been accused. Miriam has been accused of hacking that celebrity's site, and it's not Miriam that did it. So I will use the danger dossier, and someone who is a celebrity in Night City. We have been accused of doing something to them. Someone low level. Okay, so looking down the list in the Danger Gal dossier, we have 24/7. So he's a lieutenant level. So he has a credibility of 4. Edge runners. So he's an up and coming. He's an up and coming media who runs a, what's it called, a garden patch site, trying to keep everyone up to date with the latest news. His garden patch site got hacked. The solo who is supposed to protect him is really angry because the word is that Miriam did it. This is what's come back to us. This word has come back to us. Now, no one's done anything to us yet, but the word has come. Then so Timu. So we've all. It's the morning of the 26th. Owen and Miriam have got up. They're wandering around. Owen's having a go at Timu for still being here and being asleep, and kicks Timu up and tells the email to get up. Timu has gone out and then got some breakfast and brought it back. Just some standard kibble breakfast for the 3 of them. And this is where Timu is going to say about, there's a word on the street that Miriam did a hack, and Miriam's like, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. So they're all a bit suspicious. They're all a bit worried that this is going to come back and bite them in the arse. That Miriam is being accused of doing this. So there's a solo who's out for us. So when we roll so probably our next thing that we would attempt to do. So what we'll get is actually what we'll have a job to do. So Timu will get us a job, and then in the midst of that job, we will have whatever our next bit is. So let's roll for what else. So our first is our hook is falsely accused. Maybe she did do it and she's just not telling us. So we're going to have a cliffhanger as our first thing that we're going to hit. Cliff 1. And our cliffhanger 1, we will roll percentile. Blacks again, 37, or dark blues, 37. Contest. Okay, contest would work actually in the net runaway. Hopefully part of whatever our job is going to involve a run. So that's page 400. If you look on page 400, you'll see what contest is. Contest, some type of ritualized confrontation in which one side wins and one side loses. A contest could involve riddles, feats of strength, feats of memory or cleverness, or any other type of one-on-one competition. Okay, contest. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and work some form of contest into this. So whatever the job that we're about to roll is, which is what Timu is going to try and get for us, we will say that job, something is going to happen during that run, which is going to involve a bit of action and a contest that's going to have to happen. Now, Timu will have gone out and tried to get a job. So what we will do, so we've got gang boss. So whatever this is going to be, we're going to try and tilt it down to the fact that he's got a contact who's a gang boss, and he is going to give us a piece of work to do. So let's see, we will roll. So we've got pay. So how much would this pay? We would say this is either going to be a typical job, which is 100. Is that 1,000? No, it's 1,000, or easy, which is 500. So he will come back and do that, but we're going to make him make a operator roll against the DV, and we will see how it comes out depending on the DV that he rolls. Where's our list of DVs? Here we go, difficulty values. So he'll roll and we'll see how it comes up. If it's high, it's a good job. If it's low, it's a low paying job. So how we roll, because it's the interlock system, is a D10 plus the stat which is based around, which for this would be cool. We'll take this down as streetwise, because I think that streetwise would be trying to get a job, would be streetwise, which would be streetwise. His stat is 7 for cool. The skill is 4 for streetwise, and we're going to give him his operator rank as well. 4 for operator, so that's an 11 as his base, 15 minimum. So that gives a 22. A 22 hits a heroic level DV. So he's got a good job lined up, which will pay 1,000, but there could be some armed resistance would be expected. So let's find out what the job would be. So 1 to 50 is something to do with a person. 50 over 50, it's something to do with a person. So again, we've got the client, the client's going to be something. What do I roll? 34. Concubine. No, it's concubine of the gang boss. So concubine partner. So our contact, their partner. Let's randomly roll their partner. Let's see who the gang is. 44. Steel. 16. Steel girls. All right. 69. Steel girls. That says Buddha face. We're going to call them the Steel Girls. So the Steel Girls have employed us. 92. They want to. 09. All right, we need to intimidate. Who do we need to intimidate? 60. Okay, thug. All right, so there's another gang. All right, so there's another gang and we need to go and do some intimidation. So we've got to intimidate another gang. So a low-level gang for us to go intimidate. And so Owen's like, so we're being paid potentially 3 grand, probably 2 grand. So that will cost, so it says 2,000, but let's say that's going to be 2,000 to go and intimidate another gang. What, shall I just wade in with my knucks and just intimidate? Well, I'm not too sure if that's a good idea. I mean, if we're intimidating them, basically they've got an area. So let's see what is the area that we need to go to. And then if we work out the area that we need to go to, then we might be able to find out who this is that we need to intimidate. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So let's do ourselves a new table. Okay, so I knocked up a quick table to randomly roll where in Night City this might happen. If we don't like it, then we can re-roll. So this is where the gang that we've been asked to go and intimidate, where they're based. So I've done a table. I'll also include that with the hooks and the beach table. It's a percentage. So 67, the Glen. So this gang is based in the Glen. So the next thing we want to do is have a look and see if there are any gangs based in the Glen. So the Glen is a burgeoning new district which contains most of the important government buildings of Night City. That's what's in the Glen. All right, so in the Glen, we've got First City Bank, City Hall, Police Precinct, Club Atlantis, a glamorous multi-level popular club with execs, Hall of Justice, we've got Merrill, Asuka and Finch offices, Raven Micro Cybernetics. They're all based in the Glen. So if this is in the Glen, so this gang is hanging out in the Glen, are based in the Glen. Maybe they're not hanging out in the Glen. Maybe the thugs are actually some executives that we've been asked to intimidate for the Steel Girls. Steel Girls? I think I said they were called the Steel Girls. For the Steel Girls. Maybe, though it says, okay, so the gang boss's partner, she wants us, so the boss, her partner, she wants us to intimidate a thug. And so I interpreted that thug as a gang. Maybe if they're based in the Glen, maybe that thug is an exec. So maybe we've been asked to intimidate an executive based in the Glen. All right, so how is our celebrity thing going to bite us in the bum during this? So if we go to the Glen, so where was that club? So I mentioned a club in the Glen, didn't it? Club Atlantis. So we're going to get 2 grand to go to Club Atlantis. So this guy might have bodyguards. Okay, I've just got a plan. I've just had an idea. All right, so what we're going to do is we've been asked to intimidate him. So we are going to, let's see, maybe he works for a low level. Wait, we're not big enough to hack a corporate exec, but maybe we can hack. We're going to attempt to, oh yes, we're going to go in. So we're going to go in to Club Atlantis. Owen is going to go and try and push around this executive, beat the crap out of him a bit. He'll have some bodyguards. We'll do some as low level mooks, maybe a bodyguard, a low level mook bodyguard. Owen's job is to go in, mess up the bodyguard. Miriam can try and get in to Club Atlantis's network, and she's going to try and replace footage of that fight and showing this executive, whose name will roll now. Because I picked out this book, we're going to use it's male names, Indian male names. This is from this book. It is the Book of Random Tables, Cyberpunk Book 2. 1 to 50, Table 1. Table 1. 72, pronounced Siva Prasad. So this exec, Siva Prasad, possibly, S-I-V-A-P-R-A-S-A-D, is the exec. We're going to replace the footage of Siva Prasad, maybe doing some impropriety. Impropriety? Well, I get you get what I mean. So that's what Miriam can do, and then and Timu's job is to get us in, because we shouldn't be able to get into this club. We have no invites to get into this club. We shouldn't be able to get in here. So Timu's job is to get us in. So Timu's first off is Timu is going to go and attempt to source some clothes for Owen to wear to get into the club. And I think that would, I mean, yeah, I don't know how this is going to cut, because I've been quiet for a bit, like reading stuff, and I made that table. So hopefully this will work. As like halfway through we've got the explanation, we'll have this little job, and part of that hack, we will have Miriam is going to have an actual netrunner, which is what our contest is going to be. He's going to have a netrunner that Miriam has to actually hack against to get this stuff dropped off. And we will use a thing I found, which I'll quickly randomly roll a network architecture to actually hack against. So first off, Timu is going to go out and see if Timu can get us some nice clobber for Owen to wear. So the stuff that Miriam is wearing will pass, Asia Pop. The stuff that Timu is wearing will pass, but Owen in his basic leisure wear isn't going to pass muster. So Timu is going to go and see if we can borrow some clothes for Owen to wear, and we will have to return them all in one piece. So let's give him, what's he got? He's got trading. He'll have to trade a favour. All right, he's going to go and try and trade a favour. So he's going to try. So what we've got? So he can find expensive gear, but we don't want expensive gear. We just want some basic Asia Pop clothes for him to wear. So streetwise, so trading is a base of 11. We'll give him his operator on top, which is 14, which gives him a 15. We're going to say that, so it means he's passed the difficulty unless he rolls a critical fail, or 1. He needs to get a professional, which is a 17. So he's already got a 15 base. If he can just get roll a 2 on this, then he's able to go and get some 5. That's okay. So he's got a 20, so he's almost rolled here. So this is, this feat takes professional level training. So he's covered that one. So he's gone and he comes back in the afternoon of the 26th of the Monday, and he comes back and he's got some clothes for Owen to wear. We need to try and find out where he is going to be at a certain time. So we don't know if he's going to be at that club or not. So we need to invite him. So we need to invite him to the club. And so we are going to, so someone's going to have to call him and invite him to the club. Okay. So again, we will have, who's got the best acting? Surprisingly enough, it is our Timu again. So Timu's going to owe some favours. So Timu might do another one. So he's borrowed some clothes. He is going to try and ask one of the people he knows. So the contacts in that gang. So in the silver. Okay, he's going to go and ask the silver girls, one of them, to call this number. Now, where do we get the? Oh, we get the exec's number. Call the number and invite him tonight to Club Atlantis, and then we'll go into Club Atlantis tonight, and we'll do that run. So he's going to try and talk her into doing that. A 10, which means we roll again, and a 10, so that's a 20 plus his base of 11 is a 31. 31. So he does a legendary job at convincing this woman. So she definitely is going to put on a massive show. Phones up. What was his name again? Silver Prasata, and he's going to say, "Oh, come along to the club tonight. We're inviting a few of the people. You gave me your number a few weeks ago." And he's going to say, "Did I? I don't remember doing that. But okay, that's cool." So he'll go, "Oh, okay, cool. I'll be there." And so he will be there, particularly as he has been causing problems. We don't know what the problems he's been causing for what was her name then? The name of this silver girl, the person who's asked us to do this. What's her name? We'll use this table. 83. Her name is Clementina, rather. So her name, Clementina. So Clementina, this dude's done something. We don't know what it is, but he's done something and Clementina's not happy. So we're going to go and put some intimidation pressure on him. He's agreed that he'll go to the club. All right, I'm going to need to connect some stuff up. So I ordered some maps through Amazon, the low-key battle maps, the Cyberpunk battle maps. They're really expensive and they should have come by now. And they keep saying delayed, delayed, delayed. Nobody seems to have them anywhere. Delay, delay, delay. I tried to cancel the order, but they won't let me cancel it. And so I have found another solution to do this, which may or may not work. And it involves, very cyberpunky, I've taken an old monitor that isn't really being used for anything, ripped the back off, I'm going to lay it flat, I'm going to project an image to it, and then we'll use that as a battle map with miniatures. So I'm going to do a couple of things and then I will come back. What am I going to do? I'm going to do, so we're going to definitely have a fight. So we need a battle map, and Miriam needs a network architecture to hack, and I'll find the stats for a hacker, for a netrunner, for her to have the contest against. Right, I'll be back. Yes, hello. Well, in fact, I will be back, but I won't be back for another week, because when I filmed that episode, it ended up, when I took it to edit, that it was way longer than I was expecting. And so after a vote, we've decided collectively as a community to cut that into 2 halves. So you've just watched the prep. I have gone to go and get all my stuff and set up. And next week, you'll be able to see the run against the executive in the nightclub and see what happened. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it helped you if you like being helped. If you're a subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Another way you can support is by joining the Adventurers Guild, as these very wonderful people have done. They're all awesome, awesome individuals. As soon as you join, you become an awesome individual. It's quite amazing. Otherwise, there's such things as super thanks and coffee thank yous that you can do. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching to this point. I'll see you next week for more Cyberpunk Red.